Hello, my beautiful subscribers. I figured I'd get back in here. Had to, hopefully I ain't looking too crazy. Anyway, I got done cooking, so did chicken smothered in gravy and onions over a bed of rice. Oh my God, amazing. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. So we're gonna, where I left off at was, I guess, the deer. And so the deer represents secure, swift, sure, grace, and confidence. And so I find this in 2 Samuel 22, 33 through 34. What did I say? 33 through 34. And it says, God is my strength and power, and he makes my way perfect, and he makes my feet like the feet of deer, and sets me on my high places. He makes your feet like the deer's feet and sets you up on high, meaning he can secure you. And we know that deers are pretty fast, so I guess that's where the swift comes from. But he gives you that grace and confidence knowing that he's the one that's going to secure you in that. So, and it gives, if you're secure in something, you're confident that you can do it. So this is where all that comes from with the deer. If you see a deer in your dream, I like Bible. Like I said, I like the Bible references. We are going to go next to donkey, or a donkey. But I got humble, instructions, or warning. You know, I've yet to see a donkey in a dream. And that is Numbers 22. Numbers 22, 22 through 33. Oh, this one's long. Numbers 22, 22 through 33. And it says, oh, this is Balaam. And it says, then God's anger was aroused because he went and the angel, because he was going to curse the people of Israel, even after he heard the voice of the Lord say not to, but he was going to do it anyway because the king insisted. Anyway, so we'll jump right into that. It says, and then God's anger was aroused because he went and the angel of the Lord took his hand in the way as an adversary against him. So God took it as you coming against me because you're coming against my people. And he was riding on this donkey, and the two servants were with him. So he had two servants with him while he was riding on the donkey. But anyway, you know what? Because this is pretty long, we are going to skip down because we're just giving you a quick reference. And it says, and so now the donkey, well, I guess I can keep reading. Now the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So the donkey saw the angel and said, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And it says, and so Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back into the road. And then the angel of the Lord stood in the narrow path between the vineyards with the wall on this side and the wall on that side. So as he's instructing this donkey to go forward and turn or whatever, the donkey goes around this little narrow way, but the angel goes and stands in the way. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, this is verse 25, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he struck her again. Now he upset because she acting stubborn. What is going on? And then the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. Now the donkey ain't got nowhere to go. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she lay down under Balaam. And so Balaam, anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Now the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, or opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, now that would have just stirred me up right there, like, oh my Lord, the donkey is talking. But anyway, but he answered, and it says, hold on, where am I at? And she said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, because you have abused me, and I wish there was a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you. So now he's angry to the point where if he had a sword, he would kill this donkey. And so the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey, on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever disposed to you to do this, or was I ever disposed to do this to you? And he said, no. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell flat on his face. Then the angel of the Lord said to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? And behold, I have come out and to stand against you because your way is perverse before me. And the donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely I would also have killed you by now and let her live. Now that's crazy in itself. That was a long one. But anyway, it's but basically there were some instructions. I feel like if you see a donkey in your dream, it's probably some instructions that you're missing, that God is sending to you. Be humble enough to not be angry, but take it as a warning. Go back and go over some stuff in your life so you can figure out what God is trying to get to you, or what was spoken to you, or what was said to you. So I feel like a donkey is a strong symbol in a dream. That was a long one, but we're going to jump over to fish, which is, to me, and most everybody, when they see fish and dream, old Southern thing is fish means you're going to have children or somebody's pregnant or whatever. I don't know. I don't dream about fish when somebody's pregnant. I dream about an actual baby. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not too Southern enough for that, or wasn't raised that way, but I normally dream about babies. So I knew my son was having a baby before he told me he was having one, because I had a dream about a baby first. Anyway, but fish represents increase, faith, and miracles, which is Matthew. This one's a long one too. Matthew 17. This one's Matthew 17, and it is 24 through 27. And when they had come to Capernaum, those who received the temple tax came to Peter and said, does your teacher not pay the temple tax? And he said, yes. And when he had come into the house, Jesus anticipated him, saying, and he says, what do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth take customs or taxes? From their sons or from strangers? Peter said to him, from the strangers. And Jesus said to him, then the sons are free. The key thing is the son is free. And if you're free, then you're free indeed. Just know that. And he says, then the son is free. Verse 27, nevertheless, lest we offend them, go into the sea, cast in your hook, and take the fish that comes up first. And when you have opened its mouth, you will find a piece of money. Take that and give it to them for me and you. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to stop at this one because we're going to run over time. But the purpose in this is to let you know that when you are a son, you are born again, you are free from these type of things. But God says, because you do not want to offend the law of the land, in so many words, there's a law in the land. We serve a God, but we live in earth. We live on the earth, but there is a law of the land that we must follow. But he said, I will be your provision. So the miracle is you have to trust that God is going to provide the very thing that you need. And you will be able to do all what you're supposed to do. I always tell people all the time, at the end of the day, if you do not see him as your provider, you do not trust that he will provide for you, then you will find yourself in a place where it is hard to serve God financially, because you're always going to be worrying about the next time you're going to get some money. My thing is if you have it, go do what you need to do for God. Pay your tithes, your offerings, whatever it is that God is calling you to do, make sure you do it. The thing is you have to know that if you're going to give, and the key thing is, and I call this the key thing is the sower. He always gives seed to the sower. If you are constantly sowing and planting seed and giving and pouring out, the more you pour out, the more you give, the more he has to pour into you. Remember, it is better to be on the end of receiving, or no, it's better to be on the end of lending than receiving, because I don't want to always need something. I want to be able to give. And people are so quick to hold on to every little thing that they have that they forget that if your hands are like this, you're never open to receive anything, because you're holding on to everything so tight. When you forgot that God was your provider, he was the one who provided for you. He's the one who gave you the very thing that you needed, and you held on to it, and you never gave out what was supposed to be given. I know I'm kind of preachy here right now, because this is anyway, we were in animals. Back on track. The fish represents increase. And I have seen fish in my dream. And at the time of the dream, I did not understand what the fish represented. So, of course, that old saying, fish brings baby, somebody's pregnant. So I'm thinking, I've never dreamed of a fish that somebody's pregnant. I didn't realize the increase that was coming in my life. And it was a huge fish in this dream. I mean, huge. And I had it on the table, and I'm taking the scales off of it and everything. And I'm cleaning it. And I'm like, oh, this is going to feed us for a long time. I'm going to have to cut this up, fillet it, and I'm going to have to start freezing this. I didn't realize the increase that was coming in my life at that time. And I'm telling you, oh, wow. If I could go back, and I would have to find that dream and stuff. I just remember the main point of it was, I remember going fishing, and I caught this huge fish, and I pulled it out of the water. But I was struggling, like, and when I finally got it up and out of the water, I'm talking about, this bad boy would look like it's about as big as I was. And I was trying to figure out how the heck I got it out of the water on a 20-pound Tesla in my dream. I'm like, this ain't only carry, it's only gonna hold 20 pounds. What in the world? I know this fish weighed a good 120, 200 pounds. Maybe it was that big of a fish. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is fish represents increase. Fish represent a miracle that takes place. Fish can also represent have faith in your provider, which is God. All right, I'm done. This was way longer than I expected, because I got a little preachy on y'all. But that's just the pastor in me, I guess. Love you guys. We are going to pick up tomorrow evening. I'm busy tomorrow evening, so maybe I'll record tomorrow morning for tomorrow evening like I did the other morning, because I got a lot of hair to do. I do hair too sometimes. But all right, love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow, or y'all see me tomorrow.